Thank you, Director Goodman. I would also like to thank my staff, some of whom are represented here, because we want to reunite Ohioans with their money. We find it necessary not to shut down the office, so we have more staff there working. So I brought a few of them here to this event. This is what is new in 2012. Apart from citizens of Ohio who have unclaimed funds with the division, public entities also do have funds with the division. And Governor Kasich has asked every department in his administration to find ways to make it easier for these government entities to make it less taxable on the citizens of Ohio. Therefore, what the division is doing is that the public outreach entity searches our database and look for funds belonging to these entities, and then we contact them and then send them claim forms so they can also claim their funds. Between 2008 and to date, we have returned $2.5 million to public entities in Ohio. The staff continues to search the database so that as we find more funds, we return them to these entities. Also in 2012, we are expanding our focus on our schools. We have so far returned, we have in our database $885,000 for our Ohio schools. And we just sent emails to the superintendents and treasurers of our schools so that they could contact us and we will assist them to claim funds that are available to their schools. We are committed to identifying funds for those funds reported to us to the owners. So we constantly are ready and willing to return these funds as the claim forms are submitted. As always, we encourage you to visit our website, Division's website, which is www.com.ohio.gov, to search on our treasure hunt. And if you find any money, you can contact us or send in a claim. You can initiate the claim form on the website, and we stand ready to review the claim form and send you the check. For those who do not have internet access, we also strongly encourage you to call the office or write to us, and we'll be willing to assist you to claim the funds available. Thank you very much, and at this time I'll call back to the director.
I do appreciate Yao. He had the enthusiasm and sincerity he has for his job is infectious. It's funny because I'm sure this morning he was trying to figure out ways that he could call in and not be here because we were always laughing. He's like, oh, we're going to make you come out and speak in front of everybody and get in front of the microphone. And it's not something that he loves to do, but as you all saw, he's very good at getting our message out, and we really do appreciate him. And good job. Thank you very much. Thank you. And really, thank you all very much for being here, because like we said before, it's not just about the newspaper publications and the website that we have. It's about the initiative that we have of trying to get in front of the press, trying to get in front of newspaper organizations and television and radio to get our word out, because it really is about folks finding out that we're here so that they can get on our website, find out whether or not they have an unclaimed fund, or find out whether or not a friend or a family member has them so they can call them up and give them the good news. So you're participating and helping us in our mission, and we appreciate each and every one of you for taking the time to come out here today and celebrate with us our 30th anniversary of the division. Thank you all very much, and we'd be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Is the 34% increase over last year, is that in dollar amounts or numbers of claims?
34% increase is in the number of claims, and then we also have a dollar increase of
we have increase in dollars is 20.4%.
20.4%.
So I put down my notes.
And how much is in the fund right now overall?
The fund balance is about 1.5 billion. Sorry.
Billion, that's a B.
That's a big question.
Yeah.
Is there any time limit on this, or the monies? In other words, if I have something 50 years ago or whatever, I mean, it doesn't lapse at all?
The fund was created in 1968. There is no time limit at this point in time, and what you find is after about 10 years, it becomes very unusual for us to have a claim.
Isn't it fair to say that probably, I mean, you tell me, aren't a lot of these people have died, and that's why the money is not claimed? Or, I mean, do you have any sense as to how much is really able to be given back?
Well, you really don't know, because we don't know necessarily who they are or where they are. That's why they're unclaimed, because we aggressively try to seek them out also. It's not just them calling us. We look at who they are. We try to identify them and try to contact them. It can be a variety of different things that cause a person not to have a lot of these are bank accounts that went dormant after 5 years. They come to us. People forget that they have them. It could be an insurance payout that they didn't know that they had, a premium payout that they didn't know they had. You could have worked when you were younger or older at McDonald's or another place where you leave the job and you didn't pick up your last paycheck. We find a lot of those. So there's a variety of reasons. It's not because somebody may have passed away.
How much fraud do you have, and what are the penalties for somebody coming forward and trying to claim something that's not theirs? How is it checked, and how common is it?
I would say that fraud is very uncommon with this. We are able to check whether or not that individual is the person who has the unclaimed fund fairly easily. It's connecting an individual's name, a social security number with the address that is there, and so it's very difficult if you lived at a particular address and can prove that you did that somebody else could come forward and do that.
What if you have like a relative that's passed away and you find that they have unclaimed funds? How do you go about that?
We'll assist them if there's an estate issue, an issue as to whether or not somebody can actually speak for or act on behalf of another individual. But there are ways to do that. We have experts here in all of those types of issues, and we assist people to make sure that if they can identify who that person is, and maybe if that person is unavailable because they're deceased, but they have the right to that, we'll help them get it.
Do you have like an average payout?
There is an average payout. I think it's $900. Over the years, it's been $900.
What's the biggest payout you've ever had?
The biggest payout is close to $1 million. $1.7 million. You got to wonder how somebody didn't know that they had $1.7 million. We have some unclaimed funds of folks that have over $1 million currently that haven't claimed them yet.
Well, like what? How could they possibly get that much?
I don't know how you make $1.7 million yet, so I don't know how you lose it. But there are. It's really kind of hard for me to understand it myself.
How many $1 million accounts do you have?
I don't think.
We have about 4.5 million accounts.
But over $1 million?
How many are over, say, $500,000 or $1 million?
We don't have the exact figures right. We can get it for you.
Does it earn interest while it's sitting there, or the state gets the interest?
It does earn interest.
For the claimant?
Yes. It's kind of a complicated issue, but yes, at this point in time, you are earning interest.
So if you had an unclaimed fund for $100 20 years ago, when you come back to claim it, you're going to get more.
Yes, it is what the state of Ohio earns from it. So if it's in a situation where it is earning interest for the state of Ohio, that money belongs to the individual, so that money goes to that individual.
This $1.5 billion that you've got, it's earning interest now. I thought a few years ago, correct me if I'm wrong, legislators said we're going to use that interest to fill a budget hole or for something. I don't know. Does that tell us more about that?
A few years back, a number of years back, the legislature passed a bill that said that there would be no interest. But we are a state that is in a sheet state. custodial state. So if we're not in a street state, meaning that the money is other individuals, we're holding it for them, and if we're holding it for them by law, by constitutional law, that money, since it belongs to those individuals and we're holding it, if it's earning interest, it belongs to those individuals.
Not to the government.
Not to the government.
So what happened to the bill to take the interest for the statement?
It was unconstitutional.
Was it ruled unconstitutional?
It was ruled unconstitutional.
Oh. So how many people do you think have a right to that 1.5 billion?
How many open accounts do we have?
4.5 million.
4.5.
Is it possible that Marilyn and you also could both come up and just give us a few comments about what it was like to maybe find out you had your money? Just talk about did you hear on the phone that you had all this money, or when did you hear the exact amount, and what did you think about it?
It was a Wednesday evening, and I was leaving a church service, and my son was there, and he came up to his mom, we need to go out to dinner, and I said, well, what, I'm going home. No, I need to talk to you. So, okay, we'll go out. And we're sitting at dinner, and he says, Mommy said, we saw a TV program last night, and they were talking about unclaimed funds. So we got on the internet, and we put everybody's name in the family in the system, and yours came up with approximately $18,000, and I'm like, the restaurant was a little bit upward as well. And even though I was, excited of the information, I was somewhat skeptical, so obviously I couldn't wait till I called the next morning. So when I called, they were extremely helpful, and they verified that my name was in the system and that the funds were there. So that's when I said, can I come right now? And they said yes. So I jumped in the car and came. So I just encourage people to be persistent and to go on the website and check for friends, family members, anybody's name that you may know, put in there for them, because I would not have known had they not seen the program and then told me and had checked on my behalf. So when I came, it was very helpful, like I said, and quite shocked. But I did bring in my ID, and they checked in the system, my social, and do you ever live at this address before? And I said, yes, I did. And so they did all the checks and minuses, and they said, yes, you're in the system. So that was...
Marilyn, can you tell us about your situation there? You mentioned you were out of work, you needed the money. How it helped you at that moment?
I was in corporate America, I call it, and we had a complete reorganization. And it was just 2 days before that I was given my termination notice in corporate America. So at that time, obviously, that was quite exciting for me to hear that 2 days prior I was unemployed, and then I get the funds that help me bridge the gap.
It was like a Tim Tebow moment.
Where did the $18,000 come from?
It was from an employer in 1983.
So you had earned it and just didn't realize you had forgotten?
Well, exactly. Actually, I had an account there that after I had left this employer, closed the account, and so I really didn't know that there was anything else remaining. But then I found out through HR, this company that I worked for, that I had been giving into, it's not like a 401k, but it was an employee benefit account that the company put in some and I put in some, but like I said, it wasn't retirement, so I had no idea that it was there. So again, from my situation, I didn't know that the company was, had set this up for me, and found out years later. So yeah, I think it was 83 when I left that employer, and that was 2002 when I found out my funds were here.
So did you happen to know of the $18,000 that you got, how much was interest?
No, I didn't even know to ask. That's a good thing. No, because I didn't know to ask, and I didn't, till today, you want to go back and say, hey, what was that when I left? I don't know.